So I talked about doing an ice retention video on this new 1 gallon Topia thermos that I picked up off of Amazon. So I'm going to show you with the camera. I'll tell you, that thing holds a lot of ice. So for one thing, you know, when you use this thing, now granted, I don't have any liquid or anything in here. I filled it up exactly to the line. In fact, I might have to take this piece out. I filled it up exactly to the line where I'm hoping, I'm going to take this out because I want to make sure I can get the lid on it. There's no liquid in it. It's been in a air-conditioned house, approximately probably 75 degrees. The ice is in it. I'm putting the lid on it, nice and tight, and I'm putting the cup lid on top of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go sit this in my garage. So it's not going to be out in the heat, it's not going to be in the sun, but it's going to be in a garage that's probably a good, you know, 90, 80 degrees, 85 degrees at the very minimum. You know, it's summertime, so it's going to be pretty warm out there. It might even be warmer than that. And I'm going to check it basically every 24 hours, and we're going to take a look and see how much of the ice is melted and get an idea of, if nothing else, after a couple of days, if you're not opening and closing it all the time, how long can you expect this thing to hold ice before it melts? But again, it's full to the brim of ice, good and heavy. I'm gonna go put it in the garage, and then we'll do a follow-up here in about 24 hours or 48 hours, take a look at it and see how it's doing with holding ice. Okay, so it's been 48 hours. I just took the thermos out of the garage, and I apologize, I don't know the temperature in the garage, but I would say it's easily over 90 degrees in that garage. We're going to take a look 48 hours later, see if we have any ice left, and if so, how much. So I'm not sure if you can see in the thermos, but there's quite a bit. I'm going to pour out some of the water here. Okay, in 48 hours, that's how much water or how much ice is melted. If you can see in that cup. I mean, I've got a total block of ice here, and that's pretty impressive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid back on it. Again, take a look. I just want to make sure you can see in there. This is 48 hours later. I'm going to put the lid back on it. I'm going to give it another couple days, and we'll check it again. But so far, I'm pretty impressed with the insulation on this. That's how much water I got out of that thermos in 48 hours. That's how much ice melted. So I'm going to close it back up, put it in the garage, and again, the garage is open during some of the day, it's closed during most of the day, but the temperatures outside are about 95 degrees with, you know, the humidity and everything else factored in. It's easily over 100, so, you know, use your judgment on how hot you think the garage is, but it's hot out there. So lid's back on, making sure everything's tight here before we start it up again. Everything's on tight. I'm going to put it back in the garage, and we'll check back at it another 48 hours later. We'll see what it looks like after 4 days. Now I'm going to check the thermos. It's been over 4 days now. It's been about 4.5 days. Keep in mind, the first time we checked this, it was after 2 days. There wasn't even enough water that came out of here to fill the bottom of this container. So we'll take a look and see how much we have now. Quite a bit more water, but you can tell also the ice is broken up a little bit. I can tell you, let's get all of it out here first. You can take a look in there and see that's how much water has melted in the past 2 days. So after 4.5 days, if you want to look inside the thermos, there's still a ton of ice left. I would say there's easily still more than half of the ice left in this thermos. So I don't know how long I'm going to continue this test. I think the point's kind of been made that if you put ice in here and you keep it in the shade, even if it's hot, you're looking at this thing holding ice, I would say easily for 8 days, or maybe even longer. Now again, there was never any liquid in here, so that's going to, you know, affect things somewhat, but there's definitely no question this thermos is really well made and very well insulated. And if you're in a situation where you need ice for a long time, it's not going to be a problem with this item. So I hope this video helps you out. What I might do is I'll just, you know, again, put all this stuff together, and then if you have any other questions about the thermos that maybe I didn't answer, just feel free to, you know, like the video, ask questions, and I'll do my best to help answer them in the future. Thanks. So it's now been 7 days. I put the ice in here last Friday, and 7 days later we're going to see how much of the ice is melted. And this will conclude the ice retention test for this Topia 1 gallon thermos. Get all the water out of it. So, I'm not sure if you can see in there, but after 7 days, there's still plenty of ice in here. If I put my hand to it, it's actually about, the ice is still to about right here. So it's melted a little bit over half, maybe you could say, 3/4, but there's still plenty of ice in there to keep this liquid cold. So just to conclude the ice retention test on this, easily you get 7 days worth of ice out of it if you put enough ice in there. And this was again being stored in a hot garage the whole time. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. And again, if you have any questions, just feel free to comment at the bottom of the video. If the video helped out, I'd appreciate it if you'd like or subscribe to my channel. Thanks.